This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by
Freaking.com.
Darren is on the line in Pennsylvania. Darren, you're on Free Talk Live.
Okay, yes, I wanted to talk about Julian Heicklen, the famous, fearless, fully informed jury association activist.
Why are you here? It is my business. That's why I'm here. I don't know who you are.
He's according to his website, he's been charged with jury tampering.
I didn't know Julian had a website. What is his website?
It's Tyranny Fighters, one word, tyrannyfighters.com.
Okay.
You look at his progress report from January 12th. That's where he talks about it. Apparently, there's not too many details. They gave him a summons. That he says that's how they're charging him with jury tampering. Really not much more there. According to him, there's not a lot of detail on the summons.
And if I know Julian Heicklen, and I don't know him very well, but I know him from watching what he's been doing over the last couple of years, he's been going to federal courthouse after federal courthouse doing fully informed jury outreach with FIJA.org, FIJA.org, to inform jurors of their right to nullify, of their right to find someone not guilty based on their conscience, based on their feelings about the law, not whether or not the law was broken. So if the juror believes that the law is bad, they can just simply say not guilty based on that fact. And Julian Heicklen has been like the most prominent character in the country going around to these federal courthouses and doing this outreach. He's been arrested multiple times, and just pretty much for the purpose of getting him out of there. Like, the arrests don't usually pan out into any sort of criminal charges for him. Usually they just simply arrest him, and then later on, we'll let him go or drop the charges or something like that, as I understand it, just to get him away from the front of the federal courthouse building in which he's standing. So now you're saying they've decided to come at him with a criminal charge of jury tampering.
That's correct. That's what is on his website right now. I've been out in the field with Julian a few times. Filmed him getting arrested up in New York. New York City, which is actually where they're charging him. And yeah, that's pretty much, I would say, the size of it.
The guy's a hero. He's an incredibly heroic. I think he's 79 years old. I mean, he's
He's got nothing to lose, so he's going to fight for tyranny.
Right.
Fight for freedom against tyranny.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the guy is an inspiration, and I wish that more people his age would be inspired by him and start doing things like he does, because when people of the senior age group get out there and they get active, they're very effective. I mean, it looks really bad when the cops are cuffing an old man who's nearly 80 years old on the ground and carrying him away. It just does. It's hard for them to get good PR off of doing something like that.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, they've come across looking like a Gestapo or something.
Yeah, so, I mean, I fully support Julian Heicklen, and I'm very interested in knowing what transpires in this case.
In fact, most of the advances that we got in freedom were done by juries refusing to enforce the laws. He
says here, I'm looking now at his blog post over at tyrannyfighters.com, where he says he wants it to be the ultimate public trial. He's maintaining the lead role as rather the role as lead counsel, because I can and will say and do things that will disbar any attorney. Of course, I imagine he's going to be using jury nullification and bringing up jury nullification at his own trial. So this could really shape up to be quite an interesting and exciting event. And it sounds like Julian Heicklen is fully ready and fully prepared to handle this situation. So I'm very curious to see what transpires here, as to whether the federal government ends up backing down or what happens. So, Darren, if you could keep us in the loop, that'd be great.
Yes, I'd be happy to.
Any comments? Anything else you want to share on this matter?
Like I mentioned before, I've been out in the field with him several times. Obviously, not every time he goes out. From what I've seen of what he does, he just hands out flyers. I don't know how they're dreaming up some kind of jury tampering charge.
I agree, because, in fact, that's always been my critique of Julian Heicklen, is that he doesn't target the potential jurors. He just stands out in front of a federal courthouse and hands out flyers to passersby. He never actually targets the jury selection process, which is what we do here in New Hampshire. We show up on jury selection morning, the half an hour window in which they have to show up for the jury selection. We're there out in front of the building handing out flyers. Now, we are targeting everyone walking into the building, but we're there for that express purpose of reaching the potential jurors, while Julian Heicklen is just handing out flyers to anyone in the general public.
That's right.
So yeah, that seems
just
like.
To add a couple. Oh, sorry,
I was going to say, I think you're right. It seems like it's going to be a very difficult case for the federal government to prove. But then again, it is their court system, so it may not matter if they've proven a case or not. They may just decide to convict him to teach him a lesson. And of course, the Fully Informed Jury Association is where you want to go to learn more about FIJA and jury nullification and how to get out there and get active. This is one of those things that you can do pretty easily where you live. You can go out and do Fully Informed Jury Association activism and outreach to potential jurors and other people with very little investment of time, very little investment of money. It's just a matter of getting flyers printed out. You can order them from FIJA, or you can just print them out on your own. They've got PDFs that you can use on your own printer, or take it to Kinko's or FedEx or whatever and get it printed up. So that's cheap. And then you go out. I like to target the jury selection times because it seems to be the most sensible way to do this.
If you're going to hand out jury nullification information, why wouldn't you hand it out to jurors?
That's, like I said, it's always been my critique of Julian. I mean, he doesn't do that.
If you hand out the jury nullification information to somebody who then is, put on a jury 2 years later, they're not going to remember what they read.
Not likely.
They'll remember that they read something, but they don't remember what it is.
Right, and it's most relevant to the potential juror at that moment, because they're walking in. If you've ever been to a jury selection, you know that there's usually a lot of sitting and waiting involved.
If they have something to read, then there's a good chance they'll read it.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people who are brand new and have never been to jury selection before don't know that they need to bring something to read, so they may show up with nothing. And somebody who's been before may know, and they may have a book ready, but a lot of folks will have absolutely nothing in their hands.
What are you arresting this man for?
You've seen the dramatic Liberty arrests in Keene, New Hampshire. Now see 111 reasons why you should move there and reinforce these gutsy activists. Keene's advantages are compelling, and the list of reasons to move has just been updated. For details, visit freekeene.com.